So as I build a personal brand, is it better to become an authority in a certain skill and then start posting content? Or is it better to start posting content without being authority in that skill? Great question. So my perspective on this, and this probably will differ from other people's, but I can only explain what I do, right? And the kind of the thinking process behind it. I never want someone to question whether I'm legit or not, right? And I think that way, and maybe it's because I just have like massive insecurity, who knows? But the reason that I tend to always start with proof, right? And so I would rather, like, and if you don't have external achievements, right, then you need the achievements to be effort-based rather than external, okay? So what does that mean? So instead of saying, hey, I did a $100 million launch, that's an external achievement. Everyone can see that, great, lots of money, et cetera, right? I could say, I made 35,000 pieces of content. You can control that. Now, whether you did a good job or not is a separate thing. But when you do effort-based achievements, it's kind of like grind or pay, right? And so in the beginning, you don't have the money or the proof to do it, so you have to grind. And so grind-wise, it's like, I'm gonna make 35,000 pieces of content and document what you're learning along the way. That's fine. Like, that's the game. And so that will be kind of phase one. Phase two is be willing to work with people for free. People spend way too, like, I'll say this differently. If you're getting started, every single business, to this day, I still start with free stuff. Because I want to get feedback from people. I want to know what they like, what they didn't like, what their pain points are. I want to figure out how to smooth out the process. I want to figure out all these different things. And me trying to guess at that on my first shot and ask people to pay me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to have a bad reputation. I don't want it, right? And so it's going to take you so much more time. Think about this. For you to get 10 customers who pay you with it never giving anything away for free is going to take a long time. You getting 10 people to start working with you for free and then using the 10 testimonials you get there to then get your 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th customer is going to take you less time to get that 10 paying customers if you do 10 for free first of whatever it is that you sell. So that's my 2 cents. More people knowing about your stuff is not going to make you less money. I do think though that like big picture, it also kind of depends on what you're going to get into. If you want to be, you know, it's like, I want to be a business coach. It's like, well, dude, just look at the people who have the most credibility in business. They have some big giant thing behind them, right? I would not try and compete there. I would try and compete on a much smaller pond that I can be king of. Not even a pond, like a puddle. Like just be king of this itty bitty puddle and create proof around that little itty bitty puddle. And you will find people who are willing to pay you because you are a specialist and because they have access to you, okay? And I'll give you one more tidbit for those of you guys who are starting out, and then I'll take the next call. So when you're starting out, you always have an advantage, all right? Every position has an advantage on the board of the game. So if you're a super baller, right? You're a G or whatever you want to say, right? My position is to say, don't go with Weenie McGee over here. He's in his mom's basement and doesn't know what he's talking about, right? I have been doing this for however many years and look at all this credibility and look at all this proof, right? Cool. Weenie McGee, right, is gonna be in his mom's basement and he's gonna be like, don't hang out with Alex. You're never gonna talk to Alex. There's no chance, right? You're gonna be talking to someone 3 levels down from him and you're just gonna be a number to them. I mean, that's what I would say. Of course, we don't operate that way, but like, that's what you would say, right? And so if that's your position, then you say, dude, you're gonna get my phone number. And so it's not, am I better than Alex? Of course I'm not better than Alex. Like, own that. Of course I'm not better than Alex. But I am better than the 3rd rung down on his company, and you're gonna get my phone number, and I care about my reputation, and that person doesn't. That's where you compete. And so that's how you can start getting a foothold, which is why there will always be room in the market for people who are new, because people who are established are going to have their position to play. Coca-Cola Classic is going to say, we're the classic. We've been doing this forever. And the people who are new and upstart is like, hey, I'm a young founder. Just try my soda out. If you like it, tell me, give me feedback. I'll try and fix it. That's the position. Both can win. And for everyone who's like, I don't think this will work or something like that, it's like, dude, like I was in the same position. It's not like I'm 50. You know what I mean? Like I started at 0 2. And you just have to outwork, right? And you got to say like, I'm willing to do more than those guys are. And in the beginning, people don't want to say it. I'll do it for less until eventually you have proof. And then when you have proof, it becomes a virtuous cycle of charging more.